Hello everybody, I am back again with a new grocery haul. I did completely skip last week because, guys, I had warned it was probably going to happen. It was a little crazy. There was the trip that was supposed to happen, didn't happen. It was a whole thing that I'll share a different time. But anyhow, guys, I'm doing today's grocery haul in two sections. The first section actually has 3 different stores in it because I ran to Target and picked up an order. Shawn was actually in Sioux Falls, so he went to Costco and Hy-Vee. So that's what I've got here. I was going to go to Sam's Club today too, because I plan on going in. There's a lot of things we need that they've had a habit of dropping off the order. So I'd have to go in anyhow. But today got a little crazy, because of our dog having to be at the vet twice today. Yeah, it was a whole thing. Anyhow, so that got pushed off. I'm going to Sam's Club first thing tomorrow morning, but by the time I piece all this together, it's going to be back to back for you guys. So let me run through all this, and then we'll look at the Sam's Club stuff, and then we'll talk about totals. All right, guys, here is what we have got for the first half of this. Starting down on this end, there are actually 3 bags there of the Annie's Extra Cheddar Cheesy Smiles. Basically, they're Annie's Cheddar Puffs. They are just so extra good. We definitely prefer those over like the Cheetos brand or anything like that, but it's not something we can find very easily locally. So when we go to Costco and they have them in, we definitely get those. So that'll be really fun for the kids. He did pick up 2 things of the Kirkland brats from Costco. That is just something that we tend to really like. We have not really bought in a while because we've been limiting the cold stuff we get when we go out there. And he just decided to go ahead and go for it today because he knew he was getting other cold stuff. Because he ran over to Hy-Vee and grabbed kombuchas for me. Hy-Vee in Sioux Falls carries the cream soda, which ironically they were out of. So he just went ahead and got some of the other flavors for me. They've changed their labels of the live soda kombuchas. They dropped the soda name. So now they're just calling it live sparkling probiotic kombucha. And then they've got different names. So like this one is orange cream. And then you've got new fashioned root beer instead of old fashioned. I think those are the only ones he got this time around for me. And that fast, guys, my camera battery died. So back to this, what I was saying, the live kombuchas. They've changed their labeling. They've changed their branding slightly. Still the same great kombucha that I love. The flavor is the same. They just changed that. But anyhow, he couldn't get the cream soda that I do prefer. And yes, I can get these flavors out here, but I've actually been having a hard time getting my hands on the root beer because there's only one store that actually carries it, and they tend to be wiped out if I'm not there on the right days. The orange, I've had better luck with. A lot of them seem to be stocking like the lemon lime and stuff, which is always fully in stock, and apparently they have not caught on to the fact that that's not people's favorite. But whatever. Anyhow, moving on. This is the Dimmick garlic and parsley cheese. This is really good cheese. We used to get some of this every single time we went back to Sioux Falls, but it's something, again, we really have backed off on a little bit. Went ahead and grabbed that before he headed back today. We have got 6 things of the Kirkland maple syrup. We have had such a stock of this for so long that somehow we didn't catch when we were running out. So we full on ran out. And it just worked out timing wise that he was headed back out there. We have bought the Sam's Club maple syrup before. It's all supposed to be pure maple syrup, but guys, this is just better. So maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know, but either way, we went ahead, and it's also cheaper. I will say that too. Because Costco tends to run a little bit cheaper than the local Sam's Club. Although maybe the Sam's Club in Sioux Falls is cheaper than Costco out there. I don't really know. Anyhow, coming back this way, we've got some Parmesan whisks. Guys, these are really good just to snack on, but they're also really good to put on top of salads and things like that. It gives you cheese, but it gives some crunch. They're good. More of the semi-sweet chocolate chips. That is a favorite that the girls like to use for baking. 2 things of the Costco cookies. We do have 2 things of the muffins. One is the chocolate chunk as well as the apple crumb muffins. And guys, little trick, if you go to Costco and you buy the apple crumb muffins, when it comes to buying these muffins, guys, look for the ones that look the worst. See that one with the hole in it? That's actually the muffin everybody's going to fight over, because we have learned that the more sunken they are, the more holy they look, actually means the more apple pieces actually in those muffins. So just a little heads up for you. That is one thing where buying the prettiest is not actually the best. We do have one more thing of the wildflower honey. Guys, we can buy honey out here and it's okay, but there is just something about the flavor of the wildflower honey. It actually, if I remember right, comes out of Laverne, Minnesota. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that focus. Anyhow, no, there, maybe you guys will be able to read it. You know, Laverne, Minnesota is where you can get this honey, or where it's produced at. And it just, the flavor of it is so good. I really like that honey in my teas. And a lot of what we've got left is all solidified. Not a problem. You can heat honey and get it to soften back up. The problem with this is they're actually in plastic bottles. So heating it is a little bit trickier than if they were in, say, glass, because you just stick that in a boiler and you'd be able to soften it really easily, but you can't stick plastic in there. Anyhow, guys, that is what that is. We've got 3 cans of the De Fratelli Sloppy Joe sauce. He said that was all that all that Hy-Vee had when he went. We did find a store locally finally that does have it. They don't stock a lot of it, but we do know we can get it out here. He just figured he'd go ahead and grab those 3 while he was there. The organic strawberry spread, guys, this is again a favorite, and we finally ran out. It is a huge jar, so it lasts a while, and it was time to get more of that. When he was at Hy-Vee, he said he came across these zebra donuts and decided to get them to try because they looked interesting. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of Little Debbie products. It is what it is. Anyhow, these Bubba's skinny bagels, he said he found at Hy-Vee and just wanted to get them to try. So that's what those are there. 3 things of bananas. He grabbed those at Costco along with the boxes of the Fuji apples, both of which came from Costco. I needed to go to Safeway to get produce anyhow, and he figured since he was already going to those stores out there that he would just go ahead and grab them because they would easily make the trip back across the state. 2 bags of Fruity Dino Bites. There's a bit of a backstory there, but guys, it's just, it is what it is. I got 2 bags. The kids are gonna love them. Back here we have 10 each of the Annie's mac and cheeses. We've got a spirals with butter and Parmesan, the macaroni classic cheddar macaroni and cheese, and then the shells and real aged cheddar. We get 10 boxes at a time. 5 is typically what we use for a meal when we're making them for anything. We use it a lot when we're babysitting other kids or we've just got stuff going on. It's quick, it's easy. Kids like it. You can throw some hamburger in, some hot dogs in, whatever you want to. You can make a bigger meal out of it than just macaroni and cheese as well. Fudge brownies back there. 4 boxes. That's something I've actually started keeping on hand because it never seems to fail that our girls either want to bake something or they realize that they need to take a treat somewhere, and they have started making my s'mores brownies dish, which I have been making for years and probably should do a video on, but so we just keep them on hand now. Not to mention our youngest, Mr. Moo, he has a thing about baking brownies. Not sure why, but if he's really upset and I have to leave or something, we have found the best way to calm him down and make him okay with life again is to offer to make brownies with him, or he'll ask to. So it's kind of funny. Anyhow, more of the biscuits with almond butter from Nature Valley. 1 box of those. 4 cans of the sweetened condensed milk. We've actually been trying something a little different with coffee lately. Still involves that. So, and with several people drinking it, it's amazing how quickly we're going through that. In fact, it's almost becoming a very expensive habit at this point. So we'll work on that. 2 loaves of cinnamon streusel bread from Costco. That is another favorite that our oldest son was really asking for, and he's excited we have. and 2 loaves of bread because we have been out of bread for a couple of days now. Whew, guys, it's not that much, but it seemed like a lot to run through. Anyhow, let's get on to Sam's Club stuff. And like that, everybody, I am back with Sam's, which is more than I anticipated, but we will discuss that in a minute. Back here, starting off with some of the freezer stuff, I got the DiGiorno French bread pizza because Sam's Club has consistently been out of the Red Baron deep dish mini pizzas. Once again today, they were out when I went in, but they had those. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get those instead. That was the one request from our 5-year-old, was to get pizzas. So I did that. I did also get pizza rolls. They're the combination ones, so they're pepperoni and sausage. I've got a thing of the chicken cordon bleus as well as a broccoli cheese stuffed chicken back there. I do have 2 lasagnas. Shawn's actually going to be out of town for the next week. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have at least one hot, home-cooked, yet simple meal on hand as far as that goes. So we got 2 of those. We did, let's see. Guys, I'm going to jump around here a little bit so I can show you the freezer stuff. 2 bags of the Southern style chicken bites. One of our teenagers actually requested those. I grabbed 2 bags so that way we could have one to make a full meal with, but then she can air fry a few at a time, and actually all of them can, as they want those. Coming back over here really quick, we've got 1 bag of the baked lays for Shawn, 1 bag of the plain Ruffles. That's actually because I grabbed this fried pickle and ranch dip that it actually has chopped dill pickles in it. Sounded super yummy, so we needed some chips to dip with that. And then, guys, I went completely off list, which was my fault there. So there were things that I saw I wouldn't have seen if I had just shopped through the app, but I did because I was there in person. This chicken and waffles, they're chicken chips. Guys, according to the ingredients, this has like actual chicken in it. So it's the first ingredient. Even in fact, I'm going to flip this around and show you guys the ingredients on these. There we go. Yeah, natural chicken breast is the very first ingredient. Guys, how crazy is that? So I'm anxious to try those. Not to mention, I'm hungry. So that affected some of my shopping. These organic coconut crispy rollers. Guys, these are just like some of the ones we were getting out at Costco. And Sam's Club actually has a different brand of them in. So I knew that the girls would be super excited about that, as am I. The cauliflower snacking crackers. Just something good to have on hand. Anyhow, Nutella, because one of the kids said we were about out and wanted more, so I went ahead and got that. We do have 2 things of the Jimmy Dean sausage to make biscuits and gravy. That is something Shawn enjoys too, but it's really hard for him because it has pepper in it already in this sausage. And then I make a pretty mean pepper gravy, and everybody loves it, but it really affects him. And so if I can make it while he's out of town, he's not tempted by it then. And it's a win-win for everybody. So there's that. I do have a thing of the Farmer's Market boneless, skinless chicken breasts. The price on that, guys, has not gotten any cheaper. This is $20.53 for this package right there. We've got a 10-pound tube of hamburger. We had Sloppy Joe's the other night, and I think we're only down to 1 or 2 pounds left out in the freezer. So we needed to get some more. It was $37.91 for that right there. More sliced cheese. I actually wanted to get some more of the Colby Jack block cheese, but they seem to have been out. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I got the slices this week, and then next week I will probably have to get block cheese. I got that dip I already showed you guys. Some Laughing Cow. It's been a long time since we've had those, and I think the kids will be pretty excited there. Sam's had the Califia Farms almond milk creamer, which is French vanilla. And we recently bought just a regular coffee maker again. And that's one of those things where I thought, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get that to try with the coffee that we're making and stuff. And some of my teens have been enjoying coffee recently too. So we're testing different things out. So that's also why we have more half and half. The almond milk. Shawn actually ran over to Walmart, or the Walmart that's close to Sam's Club here, which we don't normally shop at, to grab the jugs of the Silk unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and they didn't have them. Apparently it's something just the other Walmart has. And he was debating on the cartons, but they actually didn't have the unsweetened at all. So I ended up just getting the Sam's Club stuff. I quit buying that a while back because the Silk was just better tasting. But if we can't even buy it, then it really doesn't matter if it was better tasting, now does it? So we've got a gallon of milk there. Back there we've got more wheat thins. Shawn and several of the kids have been enjoying those. Raisins, we're finally out of those. We don't go through them super fast, but we do use them here and there in different recipes, as well as some of the kids like to snack on them. Crescent rolls, eggs, string cheese, a big pack of tortillas. Guys, I learned my lesson that one time. I only buy one pack of these at a time because there is still, it's two 20-count packages. So there are 40 burrito size tortillas in there, and even for this big of a family, guys, it lasts us a little bit. So that'll get us through probably 2 weeks, which actually I'll talk to you guys about here in just a minute as well. I've got 2 bags of powdered sugar. Not completely sure what the girls have been using that for recipe wise, but apparently we were out and needed more. They had the champagne mangoes or honey mangoes in at Sam's. They looked pretty decent. There were a couple in some other boxes that were starting to get pretty soft, but these ones are pretty firm, so they should last us. A thing of pineapple juice hiding down there. Produce wise, we've got plums. Well, aside from the mangoes, we've got the plums, bananas, a bag of navel oranges. It's been quite a while since we had those, and I thought it'd be kind of fun, especially if any of the kids want to get into juicing anything again. And then a bag of sweet potatoes. Guys, I hunted for one that had the biggest, fattest sweet potatoes in it because I love baking them. And I like the big sweet potatoes. It makes one potato makes a whole meal for me. So that is pretty awesome. The girls wanted another thing of the veggie puffs. They finally finished off the box we bought quite a while back, and they did not have any big bags of any of the flavors or even just plain veggie puffs. So I did manage to find this box of the snack bags. And then thing of tea there. The only thing not showing, guys, is a big box of diapers for Micah that I just didn't have room for. So anyhow, we're going to get this put away, and I'll run through totals and what happened with you. Well, in classic style, I am closing out this grocery haul from a different room. Guys, this week's grocery haul is, well, my favorite phrase the last several days has been the Hot Mess Express. And I think that pretty much explains this grocery haul. Now, why do I say that? Not only was this grocery haul longer than most of mine typically are, budget-wise, it was painful. I do, however, have to remind myself that last week I didn't do a haul. We bought very minimal groceries because we actually planned to be on a trip. But in the end, that trip didn't happen, so we were actually home and eating through the stuff that we had here because I still didn't want to go get groceries more than we absolutely had to. And then fast forward, we actually bought extra, not just to replace some of the stuff we needed to, but Shawn is going to be gone for the next week. And this time around, guys, I don't know that I'm going to get back to doing a big haul every 2 weeks, but that's kind of what happened this time because I wanted to have enough stuff in place that I didn't have to stress trying to get groceries while he's gone or right as he's getting back and all this stuff. So next week, it will be a little less. I don't know how much, but it will be less, primarily focused on produce and perishables that, need to be consumed in the first few days to a week. That's what we'll get more so next week. I don't know how much of anything else. Not to mention, a lot of things that we got are things that are intended to last longer. So like the 10-pound tube of hamburger, I mean, that's almost $38 right there. And that we will chop up into 5 sections of 2 pounds and then freeze all but one of them because we usually make one up right away. And that'll create 5 meals worth of hamburger. So that's definitely not something we're going to eat all in a week. That will actually last us a while. So, yeah, this week really got thrown off. I hesitate to actually tell you totals because it's painful. And that's why I'm reminding myself that we really didn't buy anything last week. We spent less than $100 on the few things that we needed for the trip and just that we absolutely had to have around the house. And then this next week will be less. So the fact that we spent basically 2 weeks worth of budget on groceries today. I actually, guys, I didn't even add up the total. I didn't. Sam's Club alone was right about $400. Prices are continuing to rise in our area. I know that's the case in so many places. But the most obvious thing, I kind of quit looking at prices, to be completely honest. But like eggs, I used to pay $3 something for that 3 dozen pack. I want to say it was like $3.69 or $3.89. And that's what I would pay for the 2 cartons. Each carton has 18 eggs in it. And today it was over $5. It was like $5.39. $5.19 or $5.39. I'd have to double check the receipt. Either way, that's a sizable jump. And some people could argue and say, well, that's, a little less than $2. It's $1.50, somewhere in there. Okay, but if you do that for every single item that's purchased, that adds up. That chicken that I bought, that was $20 worth of chicken in that little package. And that, in this family, doesn't go that far. There are 8 chicken breasts total in there. So that was $20 for 8 chicken breasts. Guys, this is where it gets really hard. So with that said, we stretch things where we can. We move things around. And I don't know how many times I'm going to rework my budget. Because we don't have any extras at this point. It is just our family. And since our oldest moved out, it is us and 6 kids, 18 down to 5. Although the 5-year-old is eating more than the 18-year-old, I swear. Courtesy of growth spurts. So I don't know, guys. We're going to work all that out. This was a very painful week, but we had the money in the account to go ahead and do it the way we did. I am going to, like I said, next week's going to be less. I already know that off the bat. The following week, we'll see. I don't know budget-wise if it's going to be better to switch back to doing a heavy week every other week and then just produce the week in between, or if we're going to do better doing the weekly. I know that previously I found that when I meal plan and just do the weekly shopping, we did actually spend just a little bit less. Wasn't super significant, but it was a little bit. And right now, every little bit counts. So that's where that's at. At this time, I'm still anticipating you guys seeing grocery hauls every single week. I do have so many other videos now that I don't have any extra kiddos around. I'm just focusing on homeschooling with our other kiddos and just trying to get stuff caught up on the house. We've, again, still in life working on many, many things that we will announce as we go. Not to mention we're training our puppy. And life is just busy and fun. But with that said, so many videos in the works and planned for that it's going to take all I've got just to keep those going. But it does mean that you guys are going to see an increase in content as we keep moving forward. Things have been so off schedule wise, but it's been kind of nice just to kind of get a few things situated, and we'll go from there. And you guys are going to start seeing this area get cleaned up even more again around me, and some of that because I'm going to have more time again. So that's going to be awesome. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to get going because this is a crazy long video at this point, and I hope that you guys are having a blessed day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss everything else coming up next. And I'll see you in the next one.